Our commander-in-chief step in and do something, or is he going to continue to sit back and watch Egypt burn? Here with reaction, Fox News contributors Katie Pavlich, former Clinton advisor, Carrie Wofford is with us. Welcome, both of you. From my perspective, Carrie, the president's been wrong every step of the way. Wrong to push Mubarak out, kept the peace with Israel for 30 years. Wrong to give aid to Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood. And wrong now to lecture the military, which was responsible for removing the Brotherhood. Do you agree with the president on those things?
Well, thanks, Sean. I think that you have really hit the issue right on the head. And one question is, what kind of aid will we continue to send? Now, don't forget that President Obama already cut off several F-16s last month. So it's not exactly right that he's been sitting on the sidelines. He has been starting to cut off aid. That's something that one of the leading Republican senators said was, look at tiered approach to aid. So he's cut off those F-16s last month. There's an upcoming question about some Apache helicopters.
All right, but Carrie, he sent to Mohammed Morsi. This is a guy that refers to the Israelis as descendants of apes and pigs, sending to him F-16s, tanks, and $1.5 billion in aid. Don't you think that was dumb?
Well, and you actually had predicted, Sean, that Morsi, the Brotherhood would win and Morsi would take over.
Yes, I did.
So maybe you should be at the CIA helping us there. The analysts were...
If I know and they don't, that's really scary to me. Really scary.
Obama reads
well, I think it's about predictions.
All right, Katie?
Well, considering President Obama is going on a bus tour next week to talk about college loans, even though we already passed a student loan bill, I doubt that he's really going to pay as much attention to Egypt as he should be. But I think the big issue here that we're all missing is that the Obama administration from the beginning has never been willing to recognize the Muslim Brotherhood for what it is, and that is a terrorist organization. You know, Obama and his administration love to brag about the killing of Osama bin Laden, but they're not willing to acknowledge that Osama bin Laden is a product of the Muslim Brotherhood. You know, President Obama went to Egypt in 2009, right at the beginning of his presidency, to talk about religious tolerance and how we all need to live together, and Egypt was going to be the gateway to the Muslim world for a better relationship. And now that Christian churches are burning, he's not really standing up for Christianity in the way that he probably should be.
All right,
so
Carrie,
Sean
let me show you
Sure.
something. This is, and I should have thought of this earlier. This is from the Blaze today. This is John Kerry. If you can pan in a little bit closer there, Kimmy. That's John Kerry. He's kiteboarding. Do you ever go kiteboarding? I don't even know what kiteboarding is. There's our Secretary of State. He's kiteboarding, and the President of the United States, he's out there swinging a golf club every 2 seconds.
Well, don't forget that in this day and age, telecommuting is available for many Americans, and the president's powers travel with him, so he can sign a law in Boston, he can sign an executive order in California, he can sign a law. So he brings with him an entire apparatus when he travels.
Egypt is burning,
Sean,
and our Secretary of State is out kiteboarding.
Let's remember a couple weeks ago when the Muslim Brotherhood was overthrown by the Egyptian military. The day that happened, John Kerry was out yachting in Nantucket, and then the State Department lied about it. Remember that? They said, oh, no, he's not out on his yacht. And then they admitted that he was out on his yacht, but of course he was working from, you know, his kayak and, of course, everything else. They haven't gotten their story straight on this. Clearly, things like him being out while Egypt is burning, they have no idea what they're going to do with their strategy, shows that they're really not that focused when Obama always talks about this long-standing relationship we've had with Egypt, and yet he doesn't seem too concerned about that slipping away at the moment.
So we got,
I think that may be unfair. When you think about, he did sit down with his national security advisors. They came to Martha's Vineyard. An entire apparatus travels with the president when he's wherever he is. The ability to make decisions is not hampered by his location. And just remember, I think, if this had been a national incident, an incident of prime importance in America's territory, you would have seen him come back. So you think about the Hurricane Sandy.
There's 84 million Egyptians. It is geopolitically, it is the defining place in the Middle East. And under Mubarak, who he pushed out, They kept the peace, the Camp David Accords, for 30 years with Israel. So now we're in a situation where the Muslim Brotherhood hates us, the military hates us, the Christians now hate us because they're now marking their homes and then burning them in their churches.
The military doesn't hate us yet, and I think that's actually a key question about, and that's probably a factor in whether or not to continue sending aid. So they have to think about that they need the military to keep the Suez Canal open to us. They need the military to keep that peace treaty with Israel since 1979, and to cut off aid could be a problem. That's why you had Republican Peter King of New York saying, do not cut off aid. We need to maintain our influence. And he's the chair of the Counterterrorism and Intelligence Committee in the House.
Nobody respects us. This is the problem. But he supported the Muslim Brotherhood. He supported Morsi. He gave F-16s to him.
Now, so can I say, you and Katie both said that Obama was supporting the Morsi Brotherhood.
He gave them $1.5 billion.
No, I hear you about the money.
James Clapper called the Muslim Brotherhood a secular organization when we all know that as soon as the Muslim Brotherhood came in, Christians were persecuted at a higher rate. From the beginning, we knew this was going to happen, and
I'm going to surprise you both. I'm going to say that you and Obama agree about this. He shares your concerns about the Brotherhood, but they were democratically elected. And as Americans, one of our prime goals is to spread democracy. There was a revolution in Egypt in which the Egyptian people pushed Mubarak out, and they elected by 51% Morsi and the Brotherhood.
He pushed out Mubarak. There was only one organized
political. There was no plan B.
The people of Egypt went into Tahrir Square and forced Mubarak out.
Now he's lecturing the military.
Now they're getting slaughtered by the Muslim Brotherhood in the streets.
And they deserve better than this, and we should stand up for democracy. We want a real democracy, and I think that the Egyptian people deserve better than this. They deserve better.
Based on that, then Morsi should be back in power, based on what you're saying.
No. He got pushed out as well because he was. Was
there an election that forced him out, or was there a military coup?
You are correct. You're right on the issue. But the reason they pushed him out, But the reason they pushed him out.
That's not democracy, is it? All right, I got to roll.
No, because they were acting so uncharitably towards their people.